Hi guys, how are you all doing? Are you ready for today's session? Are you ready? Get the score that you've always aimed for in CAT. So many people already available. Hi Anuj, hello, hi Khushbu, hi Jagrati. Good evening, guys. How was your day today, guys? How was this Saturday? How was it today? How many of you are working? If you all had to work today, weekend workers, anyone? Great, superb. Okay, so this session is in continuation with yesterday's session where we looked at the first lecture of simple and compound interest. This is the second lecture on simple and compound interest. Today, what we'll be looking at be three concepts. One would be the difference between simple and compound interest, questions that deal with difference between these two types of interest. Yes. The next that we'll be looking at would be installments, and then we'll be at population increase and depreciation. Yes, so that's the agenda for today. That's the aim for today. How many of you all are ready for it? Hey, hi, Ojasvi. Hello, Vibhor. Good evening. Hi, Devraj. Hi, Ayushi. Hi, Asta. Hi, bad boy. Great. Okay, so if there's anyone new here and if you do not know, my name is Amit Surana. I am an aeronautical engineer from Chennai. I've been teaching quantitative aptitude for over 5 years now, and I've trained over 2 lakh students out the country. If you're planning on sharing this on any of the social media platforms, do not forget to use hashtag cat live daily. And if you're planning on joining a community which we have on Telegram, all you have to do is type in this URL. If you have difficulties in typing this URL, then just wait for a while. The URL would be sent to you in the chat. All you'll have to do is click on it. And so you all are ready. Superb, superb. Hi, Ankit. Great. Superb. So let's get into it right away then. Yeah, if you are new, apart from the notebook and the pen that we require, we also require a big bottle of water because we like to keep ourselves hydrated and our minds fresh. Yes. uh, and the other thing, just in continuation with yesterday, right, the other thing, able to understand the rest of the session without any difficulty. Yes, not only the calculation part of it but also some application. Yes, I would seriously suggest you that if you are not able to understand some parts of this, suggest you to go to the previous lecture. Right, that was the first topic that we had looked at: profit and loss and percentage. So we started with percentages. That was the first series, and then we had looked at profit and loss, which was yes. So I would seriously suggest you go back. Yes, have a look at the videos of percentage, something that we will use or we would require to use in the session today. Yes. Hi Shriza, great. आवाज कट रही है as in, is the volume dropping? Because I have a dry throat, probably because of that. Let me just clean my throat. How is it now? Is it better now? Yeah, is it better now, Vivor? Yes. There's still any difficulties, please let me know. Okay, there's no point in doing a live session where you are not able to. Yeah. Okay, so I hope now everything is clear. Yes, superb Devraj. Thank you so much, buddy. Okay, so let's get on with it. Yes, what we are going to start with right now is difference between compound interest and simple, right? By definition, we know that the difference between compound and simple interest is equal every year. Yes, same amount, same R percentage is applied on the profit every single. Yes, nothing changes here unless and until there is something clearly mentioned in the question, right? But in the case of compound interest, what happens? R percentage of P is applied for the first year, but from the second year, the interest is also a part of the principal. Yes, which means there is interest upon interest that is applied. Yeah, I hope that is pretty much clear, right? And if you still have difficulties in differentiating these two, then I'd again suggest you to go to the lecture that we had yesterday, first lecture of simple compound. Yeah, super. So let's begin with the difference between this, right? Let's begin with the difference. Let us assume that uh, the principal, right? The principal amount, let's assume it to be 1,000 rupees. Yes, the rate of interest, let it be 10%. Okay. Now, in the first year, yes, how much would be the simple interest? Anyone? The first year, how much is the simple interest? Anyone would like to say? Yeah, in the first year. So we know simple interest is going to be the same every year. Yes, but then in the first year, it'd be how much? R is 10 percentage, the amount is 1,000 rupees, so the interest would be what? R percentage, that is 10 percentage of P, that's very simple, I understand, but then just getting on the momentum. Yeah. And what would be the compound interest? What would be the compound interest then for that particular year? The same amount, right? The same 10%, because there's no interest beforehand to add into the principal anymore. Yes, which basically means the compound interest for that particular year would also be, right, 100 rupees. What's the difference between the simple and compound interest? Yes, when I say difference, I don't mean by definition, by value. Yes, 100 rupees compound interest, 100 rupees simple interest. So in the first year, the difference between them is what? Zero. Yes. Ayushi, no, we are not talking about the amount. I'm just talking about the interest. See, interest value is what I'm asking. Okay. Yes. So that this is clear, right? So the difference between simple interest and compound interest in the first year, right? At the end of the first year is how much? 8. Now let's move on. How about the second year? How about the second year? Second year, what would happen? This 100 would be a part of this 1,000, which means now the principal would become 700, 1,100, or in other terms, the earlier 1,000 and 10% applied on that as well. 1,000, sorry, earlier 100 plus 10 percentage on it, that's 10 rupees. 110 rupees. Or in other terms, can I say this is 1.1 times? 100 percentage is already there, 10 percentage is added, 110. But what would happen? What would be the simple interest? It would still be the same 100. Yes. So now for 2 years together, yes, for 2 years together, what would happen? The simple interest would be 100. The compound interest would be what? 210, which means the difference between simple and compound interest is much. You agree? Right. Yes, Ojasvi. Super. Super. Yes. 110 would be compound interest, 100 rupees simple interest. Yes. But then this 10 is not just the difference of this. Yes, it's of the total. Yes, so 200 for 2 years, 210 for, yes. So can I say this 10 is nothing but 10 percentage of the previously applied interest. Yes, this 10 rupees is nothing but R percentage of this. And this is what R percentage of P already. So what is R percentage of R percentage of P? R square percent. Yes, you agree? R square percentage of P. Let me just write it. P R. Yes, correct. Yeah. Hi guys, hi Vijay, hello, welcome. Jagrati, good evening. Why suddenly out of nowhere? Good evening again. Okay, I hope you are having a great evening. Hi Shraddha, hello Prince. Vibhor, is it just with you? Please check, guys. कि मेरे end पे streaming that I am doing simultaneously वहाँ पे कुछ difficulties नहीं लग रही है. Anyone else is also facing the same issue? Please check. Otherwise, or you'll have to check on your. Hi Dinesh, hi Neha. Hello. Right. So this is clear, right? This is clear. So what is this? What is this? This is the difference between compound interest and simple interest, not for the second year, but for 2 years together. Yes. How about third year? How about the third year? Yes. In the third year, what would happen? The compound interest, but again 1 point. Yes. Or 10 percentage of this. That's 11. Give us what? 120. Yes. And how much would be the simple interest for that particular year? 100 rupees. So totally what would be? This would be 300. Yes, simple interest would be 300 and compound interest would be how much? 330. Yes. So what's the difference between the total compound interest for 3 years? That's 331 and 300. Correct. Are you able to follow this? Yes, this is what? 331, which is nothing but the compound interest for all 3 years together. And 300 rupees is what? 300 rupees what? For those. Yes. That's nothing but 300. That's nothing but 31 rupees. And if you look at the algebraic portion of it, yes, 31 rupees is basically what? So previous years, right? Previous years interest, that is R percentage of P. Yes. So this particular thing would be what? R percentage of P plus R percentage of R percentage of P. You agree? Yes. So how much would this be? Yes, or in other terms, let's just write this, right? Let's just write this. How much would this? So first year it was R percentage. Yes. Second year it was what? Previous year's interest, that's R percentage, plus R square percentage. Yes, 10% is पे भी. Yes, so R percent is पे. Next में क्या हो रहा है? Previous one, that is R percentage of P plus R square percentage. Yes. इस पे वापस R percentage लग रहा है, which means we would have what? R percentage of P 2 times and R. Yes, are you able to follow this? Yes. आवाज बहुत स्लो आ रही है, आवाज कट रही है. So let me try to reconnect. Let's see if that would help us any better, because I am yelling at the top of my voice. Uh, that case, just give me 1 second, right? Just give me 1 second. Let me check on my end what's going. Yeah, so how about now? How about now? Are you able to hear me loud and clear? Yes, guys. Any issues with the audio? Anyone? Sound check, sound check. 1 2 1 2. अभी क्लियर है क्या एवरीवन? पिज्जा इक्वेशन समझ में नहीं आया? अच्छा ठीक है, I'll do that again. I'll do this particular part again. So बाकी आवाज बराबर है क्या? Great, great. Okay, got it. ठीक है फिर. Okay, let's repeat this. Let's repeat the algebra portion of it. Yes. So first year क्या होता है? 10%. अच्छा, forget RP and all that, right? Forget RP everything. First year. Yes, first year का बात कर रहे हैं. Compound interest का. Okay. First year's compound interest would be what? 10 percentage of P. Do you agree? Yes, 10 percentage of P. Yes. What would be the second year's interest? Previous wala 10 percentage of P. Yes, previous wala 10 percentage of P. Uspe another 10 percentage of P on the earlier one, right? So 10 percentage of P and 10 percentage of 10 percentage of P. Yes, so 10 percentage of 10 percentage of P. Do you agree? Yes. Isn't that the rule? Yeah. शाह नो नॉट रियली, ये BA LLB का क्लास नहीं है. दिस इज फॉर CAT which would help you get into IIMs, which will help you if your aim is to take up MBA in your future, then that's for that. Yes. Okay. ये क्लास 6:30 को स्टार्ट होता है, right? So 10 percentage of 10 percentage of P, right? Which is nothing but what? Which is nothing but what? R percentage of P plus R percentage of R percentage of P. So can I say this is nothing but 10 percentage the whole square? That's nothing but R square. Yes. So now what happens of this if the interest goes up, right? Simple interest would be what? This part. Would you agree? Simple interest would be what? This part. 10 percentage of P plus 10%. That's 20%, right? That will get cancelled off because we are getting the difference. So what is left? R square percent. Yes. If we look for the third year, what happens? Previous year's interest, previous year's compound interest, that's nothing but what? R percentage of P plus R square percentage. Correct. For the second year, what is it? R percentage of P plus R square percentage. Correct. This is for the second year. Would you agree? Then what would happen in the third year then? In the third year, what would happen? Whatever was the second year's interest, that is R percentage of plus R square percentage. Yes, previous year's 110 plus उस पे वापस 10%. Yes, so इस पे वापस R percentage लगेगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? R into R percentage of P would be what? R square percentage of P. R into R square percentage of P would be what? R percentage. अगर ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो ज्यादा don't stress yourself. Yes, if you don't understand this, we'll focus more on the questions and examples that will help us understand this better. Okay. So what happens now for 3 years? For 3 years together, yes, the first year we had what? R percentage. Yes. So all 3 years together, what would we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 times R percentage of P plus, look at the R square part, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 times R square percentage plus R cube percentage, right? Now इसमें से if I remove the simple interest part, what is simple interest part in this? R percentage of P for 3 times. Yes, so if I remove the times R percent, R square percent plus R cube. Got it? अगर ये algebra समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, don't strain yourself. Yes, just try to understand it for now. Just understand the flow, and after that, with examples, you would understand better, I think. Yes. Got it? Now, the fourth year. Now, what would happen in the fourth year? Yes, in the fourth year. So forget this 110 percentage and all that. Let's stick to just the algebra part. Yes. So what would happen? Previous year's interest, right? Previous year's interest, that is R percentage of P plus 2R square P plus R cube P. उस पे वापस R percentage लगेगा हर चीज. Yes. So what would we have? Yes, what would we have? We would have 4 times, right? 4 times R percentage of P. Yes. We would have 6 times total R square percentage of P. Yes. plus what would we have? We would have r power 4. Yes, so what would we have? We subtract. If we get the difference, what would we have? What? 6 times r square p plus times r cube. Got it? 3. That clear? अगर ये algebra समझ में आ रहा है, don't stress yourself too much, right? Of all the questions that we've seen in last 3 years CAT difference के, there was no question based on difference. Yes, even if they are, you don't have to worry about ये RP and all that, right? Every time I'll tell you how to do that, how to deal with a question directly. Yes, but what you have to focus on is just try to understand this logic. Difference का logic बस समझ लो, that will do. Yes, and even better, if you think you can trust, you can rely on your memory, right? If you can rely on your memory, then just remember first year, second year and third year ka difference. Yes, sorry, second year, third year and fourth year ka difference. First year ka difference to 0 year. Yes, second year is what? R square p. Yes, third year is what? 3 times r square p plus r cube p. Yes, and fourth years would be what? 6 times r square p plus 4 times r cube. Got it? Yes. Let's not spend a lot of time in understanding the algebra or understanding the logic. Example chalte hain, you'd feel better about it, right? Are you all ready for an example? Vijay, when you mean example, right? When you mean when you mean formula, what formula are you talking about? Yes, because obviously you can rely on formula unless and until the question is direct. Yes, if the question is not very direct, then in that case you will get stuck. Yes, so concept is more important than formula. Formula is for speed. Yes, you can reduce the amount of time you spend on every question, but then what matters is you understand the concept also, because CAT doesn't roll on direct questions. Although simple interest, compound interest questions have been quite direct. Yes, not very twisted, not very complexified. Yes, at least not in the last 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, Vijay. Yeah. So if you want to stick to remembering that, no issues about it, right? Nobody's gonna, you know, beat you up for it or anything. Yes, but I would rather want you to understand the concept and apply the concept there in it. But obviously, for speed, yes, for speed, you need the formula. You can't sit and derive everything every time. Yeah? Great, Vijay. Okay, Vibhor says the answer is C, 5000. How about others? Yes, how about others? So what's given here? The CI on a certain principle is 72, more than the SI at 12%. Yes. What are they saying? CI for 2 years. Yes. CI for not second year but 2 years together. Yes. Is what? 72 more than the SI, which means I minus SI compound minus 6 for 2 years together is what? 72. What's given to us? We are given with the interest amount, the difference, and the rate as 12%. Now, if you remember the formula that we spoke about in the previous slide, very good. Otherwise, we can still do this manually, right? We can still do this manually. Superb. Sriza, Archana, Kushbu, Asta, Ayushi. So let's look at this. Okay. Now I'm only going to talk about. I'm going to forget all of this, right? Only the algebra part. At the first year. First year, what is it? P into R. P into R. Yes. What's the difference? Second year. Second year, what would happen? P into R plus, so previous year's interest plus R percentage on it. Yes, so R percentage of PR would be what? R square P. Yes, simple interest. Yes, if you want the difference of it, what would we do? This is just for the second year, but the difference given to us is what? Of 2 years together. So this is what? 2 times PR. Yes. How much is this? PR plus PR, that is 2R plus R square P minus simple interest. Got it? So this is compound interest for all 2 years, not for the second year, all 2 years. This is for all 2 years. Yes. What's the difference? 2 times PR, 2 times PR gone. That's nothing but R squared P. Something that we spoke in the previous. Got it? R squared P. That value is given to us. Yes. Where is it given to us? Here. 70. Yes. R squared P. R squared P. That is 70. And you know R is nothing but 12%. Yes. R is nothing but what? 12%. 12% square would be what? 140. Yes, if you want to cancel it, go ahead and do that. But since the other number is 72, something that we can directly deal with and cancel, I think it's better we stick to not taking the square. Right? If you want, I think you can go ahead with that also. Yes. So 12 into 12 is 144, 100 into 10,000. Yes, that is what? 72. If I were to cancel out, this would be once, this twice. 2 by 10,000 is 1 by 5,000, which value of yes. So doing this would easily take up about seconds. But if you think no, I would rather not spend 15 extra seconds. Yes, I'd rather remember this particular part of it. The choice is here. Yes, you have to decide what is your stronger suit: deriving something with logic or remembering. Yes. So this would not be a very good time for us to sit and change our strengths, right? Unlearn everything, relearn everything. It's too late for that. Yeah? So whatever you are good at, try to build up. Here, any confusions here? Yes. Any issues? अरे फिर कट रही है। is it too much? विभोर, is it too much? जैसे पूरा कट रहा है आवाज या हाउ? क्योंकि मेरे फोन पे I'm watching my entire feed on the phone, but then there's no. Please check Vibor, huh? Until then, yes, cheers, guys. We've not only learned the concept, we've also solved the question. So, cheers to difference between simple and compound interest. Hoping that a question from this. Yes. Acha, okay. Let's move on to the next example then. Yes, the next example is given to us. Yeah. What is told to us is the ratio of difference between CISI after 2 years to that after 3 years come at the same rate of interest. Even if this part is not given to us, right? We are going that the principles are the same, the rate of are the same. This time, instead of directly giving the ratio, I mean directly giving the difference, given it in terms of ratio, they're asking what is the value of. Yes, I'm gonna give you about. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Let's see if you can try this out. Let me know what answer you get. Again, a very straightforward question. Yet does not only test percentages but also test ratios. Right, Vibhor, Rahul, Ojasvi, Astha, superb, great, Khush, nice. There is option. Vijay, you're gonna have to check 0.26 options. Right, A. Great, Vijay. Okay, guys, it seems like there's no issue on the audio. Confirmed it from the studio as well. Please check on your end if there's any ups or downs because here it seems to be running smooth. Rahul says audio is perfecto. Okay, guys, if it's just half second, then let's not dwell on that, right? I'm anyway going to explain the entire question. I'm gonna write it on the screen as well. Let's try and manage it this time. Let's not, spend time. आवाज अबे मैं guys I'm actually on top of my voice, actually kind of extremely loud, more loud. I'm louder than the usual today. Okay, guys, let's ignore all of that. Let's move into the zen mode. Let's try and understand. Let's try to focus on this question. Yes, if there is any technical difficulties, the studio team is going to take care of that, right? Don't worry. Okay, let's look at this question. So what do we know? We know that the difference of the sums, yes, difference of the simple interest, compound interest given to us, but in terms of ratios for 2 years and 3 years. Yes, so what do we have to do? Yes, let's try and work out, right? If we do not remember, so second year, right? Second year we just did, yes, we just did the second year's interest, difference in the interest, which was what? PR square. Yes. Now let's look at the third year, right? Let's look at the third year. What would happen in the third year? Simple interest for all 3 years, right? This is for all 3 years. Forget all of this. Forget all of this. All 3 years would be what? 3 times R percentage applied on P, correct? How about compound interest? How about compound interest? What would we have? Yes, we would have 3 times, yes, 3 times R percentage applied on P, yes, plus what would we have? We would have 1. So here we had times R, yes, this would be what? P times R plus times R square, yes, so what would we have? P times RP, yes, plus, yes, in this particular year what would happen? There'd be one another PR square, yes, and a PR square from the earlier, yes, so we would have what? P times PR square, yes, and if you look at the cubes, right, so there are 3, so this would be 4 times, 3 times barabar, plus what? PR cube, yes, plus, I think it's better if we write it down also. It would work that way also, right? If you want to write down everything and then just confirm on it, right? First year times R, second year R square P plus PR, right? Third year what would happen? R square, yes. In the third year what would happen? The previous year, that is PR plus R square P, another R of it, right? So R times this, so R times PR is what? R square P, R times R square P is what? R cube. Yes, this would give me what altogether? 1, 2, 3, 3 times PR plus once, twice, thrice times R square. Yes, plus what would be that? R cube. That clear? Yes. So then for third year, what's going to be the difference? Yes, PPR would go up. What would we have? We would have 3 times R square P plus R cube. Yes. Now what's given to us? What's given to us? The ratio, right? So let's write R ratio in terms of 2 years it is PR square, 3 years it is what? Times R square plus R cube. Yes, got it. So if I were to divide everything, right? If I were to divide everything by PR square, what would happen? PR square by PR square. So I'm dividing everything by R square. Yes, so what would I get? PR square by PR square would be 1. Yes, 3 times PR square by PR square would be what? Plus PR cube by PR square would be what? These would get cancelled out. R square would get cancelled out. We left with, yes. This ratio is given to us as what? 11 is 7. Yes, got it. Which basically means what? Which basically means what? If I were to multiply this with 11, yes, this into 11, the other way around, right? This into 11 is 11 parts, which means this into 11 should, yes. 11 into 3 plus R is what? 33 plus 11R equal to 37. Or in other terms, 11R is how much? 4. And we all know that R, that 4 by 11 is bar. Yes. Yeah. Now we could actually dodge, we could actually cut down a lot of our time if we can remember. Yes. Any issues here? Any confusion? Yeah. Cool. So this was difference. Yes, difference between compound interest, simple interest, right? Always in this case, especially in this case, it's better to remember the formula than going for the expansion. But the advantage, you can use this as an advantage. Don't remember the formula, yes. And if you have the time, and if that particular question seems to be an addition, that will help your score. Yeah. Since shortcut would be to avoid all of this. Shortcut would be avoid all of this calculation. Yes, directly remember 2 years difference is PR square, 3 years difference is 3 PR square plus R cube. Yes, what I'm doing is I'm dividing everything by PR square so that I do not have any variables left. Yes, if I subtract these two, if I subtract these, what would happen? Yes, or in other terms, what I can do is I just multiply this with 3. Yes, 3 times PR square and 3 times PR square plus PR cube. If I subtract, I would get R cube P, but 4. Yes, I can either do that, but I think the safest game here is this. Yes. PR square by 100 square. Girish, is the difference of 2 years together. PR square by 100 square. I'm assuming R is automatically taken as percentage. Yes. Great, superb. So there goes the difference part. Yes. Again, if you want to get good with the derivation, also I would suggest you practice a lot. Yes, but then the safest way would be to remember at least 2, 3, and 4 years difference. Yes, as a shortcut. 4 years they've never really gone so far, right? So 2 and 3 years difference, if you remember, that should be it. Yes. Now let's move on to the second concept here. The second concept is installments. Yes. The concept of installments is very simple, extremely simple. Yes. Where you have to understand that so let's say if something is bought for 1,000 rupees. Yes, if something is bought for 1,000 rupees. Yes, let's say I don't know, a book or something. Yes. Girish, yeah, it's the same thing, no, Girish? PR square by 100 square is nothing but PR square, where R I'm already assuming to be rate percent. Yes, so in the previous question, instead of separately assuming it to be, R percentage or something. Yes, so in the previous question, instead of separately assuming it to be, 36.36 percentage, I'm directly assuming it to be 0.36. Yes, by 100, I'm by default doing it. Yes. Okay, so let's assume that you buy a product for 1,000 rupees. Yes, you buy a product for 1,000 rupees. Yes. Now instead of paying it totally upfront, yes, all cash. Yeah, what you rather do is you want to convert it into installments. Yes. So if you convert these 1,000 rupees into installments, right, it cannot be as simple as what, just 250 rupees every install. Yes, 250 rupees per year. That basically would mean that there is no interest at all applied, and that's not how installments. Yes. So installments, there are interest applied upon what, every amount that is pending. Yes. So of the previous due, whatever is the due of the previous month, there'd be interest applied upon that also. It's like taking a loan. Yes. And then when you repay, there would be interest. So for example, let's say 1,000, right? Yes, this is just a separate example. I'm trying to explain to you why interest would be applied uh, on the due amount. Yes, so 1,000 rupees I give you, right? I give you 1,000 rupees. Yes, I charge you 10 percentage. Yes, I charge you 10 percentage interest. Okay, so technically for 4 years, right? For 4 years, how much should I get? For 4 years, how much should I get? 1,400. Yes, simple interest. Let's go with simple interest. Yeah, 1,400. Yes. Now 1,400, if it's split in four, what would happen? Yes, we would have what? 250 rupees. Yes, plus 100 rupees. Yes, so 350 rupees you would be paying me, correct? Now, when you pay me the first 350 rupees, yes, this is just an example. 350 rupees won't be the price of cost, it will reduce. Yes, just an example. Yes, so let's say in the first year you pay me 350 rupees. Yes, what will be remaining from the 1,000 then? From the 1,000 that you had, what will be remaining? Or from the 1,400 that you owe me, how much would be remaining? 1,050. Yes, in that 1,050, you should pay me interest for that particular 1,050 also. To agree? So that 1,050, 10 percentage extra would give me what? Yes, this would give me what? One. Yes, you would be paying me how much now? Be paying me 1,265's one third, or whatever is the EMI for that particular. Right. So the remaining amount's interest would also be a part of the second installment. Yes. So apart from the 350 that you pay, of the remaining amount, 115 rupees would also be a part. Means now you would pay me not 350 for the second installment, you would be paying me how much? 465 for the second. You get it? For the third installment, what would you pay me? 465 plus whatever is the pending amount, the due amount, 10 percentage on that. Here. Yes. So here, this was just an example. The calculation here is not correct. Okay, what we'll be doing now is doing the calculation. Okay. So now what happens in the first year? In the first year, right, you take a loan of 1,000 rupees. You take a loan of 1,000 rupees. The interest I charge is what? 10%. Yes. Then in the first year, how much is the total amount that you should be paying me? The first year amount. Forget the principal amount. How much amount should you be paying me? 1,000 plus the interest amount. That is 1,100. Correct. You should be paying me 1,100 the first year. Yes. And how much should be the interest, or how much should be the installment that you will be paying me? E-rupee. Yes. Now, when this moves on to the second year, what will happen? Another 10% would be applied on this. Yes. Would become what? 1,210, right? 1,210 rupees paying me, right? Technically for the of the E that you paid, right? Of the E that you paid, yes, of the remaining, again interest would be applied on that. Yes, this E you are still yet to pay me. You haven't paid me yet. You're still yet to pay me, right? The interest on this would also be applied, right? This is the money that you owe me extra apart from the money, right? So how much would it be? 10% extra on that. That is 1 point. Yes. How about the third year? Another 10% applied on the amount. Yes, so that would be what? 1,331. Correct? Yes. And how about the installment? How much should you now owe me? How much? 1.21 E. Correct? How about the fourth year? Yes. How much would you the fourth year now? Yes. Be owing me 1,464. Correct? Yes. This is what you would be owing towards the end of the. And what would be the how much should be the installment then? It's what? 1 point. That's nothing but 10% extra on the previous installment. Got it? So now what happens? You actually owe me how much? 1,460 for the 4 years. That's nothing but the compound interest for 4 years. Yes. Compound interest would be what? Into 1.1 into 1.1. Now you owe me how much? 1,000.1 rupees. Yes. But this is to be paid in what? In 4 installments, right? Which means all of these is the total installment amount. Yes. So how much would 4.6 4.641? Am I making sense here? Are you able to understand this? Hardik, not 14,641. No, that is a scam. If I give you 1,000 rupees and I ask you to return me 14,641, then that's a scam. Okay, it's 1,464.1. There is a decimal point, just 10% pehle ka zyada. Yes, so technically, how much do you owe? The installment amount, right? The installment amount would become what? Very close. Yes, but some got it. Any confusions here? Anyone? Confusions, guys? Yes, Nikki, this is okay. I'll rewrite this, right? Nikki, this is not, but this is the installment amount. Okay. Next year, what would happen? 1.1 times 10% extra. Yes. The next year, what would happen? Previous one pay 1.1 again, because you haven't paid me that. You haven't paid me previous one's interest yet. Yes. It would become how much then? 1.2. 1.21. Yes, and you haven't yet paid me this also, so next year it would become what? 1.331. Just 1.1 increase हो रहा है, just 10 percentage increasing every time. You getting it? Yes. So you haven't paid me you haven't paid me this part or this part either, so total would be what? One, sorry, what? 4 point, समझ में आ रहा है? Yes guys. Okay Nikki, is that understandable? Yes. Any confusion guys? Any? If you have any confusions, do not hesitate. Go ahead and ask me. Yes. So the amount would be around right, around. So now what would happen? Now what would happen? You will not be paying me 320 every year either. Yes, that's not how installments are calculated, right? So first installment would be 320. Second installment would be what? 320 plus the interest on it. That's how much? 1.1 e. Yes. Third installment would be what? 1.21 e. Are you getting it? Fourth installment would be how much? 1.3. Yes. Although that's the case, we still call it what? Equal installment. Yes. Although they are not equal, that term. Any confusions here? Yes. Before you can do that, but then it will be approximated value, right? So since I had to, explain it to you properly what 10% is, I use that. You can always go ahead and approximate. If you have answer choices, agar if this particular thing does not come in as a TITA, which for the last 3 years TITA में ही आया है, right? It would be kind of difficult if you were to approximate. Okay. Got it? Vijay, just divide this. Divide the total amount. Yes, this is nothing but principal. That's 1,000 rupees plus 4 years worth of compound interest. समझ में आ रहा है? This is principal plus 4 years worth of compound interest. Yes, this should be equal to what? The total installment that you have to pay. Yes. Got it? तो मैं just divide कर रहा हूँ. I'm just dividing this. Each value would be somewhere around 3. Here. It's still okay if you haven't understood this. Do not worry, right? Like I said, uh, arithmetic should not be dealt in terms of algebra. Arithmetic dealt in terms of, yes. Let's look at this example. With the help of this example, yes, everything would be clear for us. Bhumika, don't worry, don't भूल जाओ, forget what happened in the previous slide. Yes, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, don't push yourself into algebra जब जाएंगे तब जाएंगे, अभी के लिए just stick to arithmetic. Yes, look at this amount. Yes, what is the principal? 2,000 rupees. It is to be paid at 15% interest for 2 installments, right? They are asking the installment value. Go ahead, answer this. Yes, then we'll see if we are able to understand installments. Okay, try this. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do it. Yes. Any answers? Okay, don't worry अगर नहीं आ रहा है, again don't push yourself, right? Let me explain it to you. Okay, 2000 is the amount. Yes, sorry, 2000 is the principal. Yes, technically how much should you pay me? Yes, or technically how much should you pay the bank? मेरे पास तो इतना है नहीं, मैं आपको लूँ, right? How much should you pay the bank? Would you pay 2000? No. Would you pay 15% of 2000? No. You'd be paying it in what? Two installments, which means 2 years. Yes, 2 years का interest लगेगा, है ना? Yes. So how much would you be paying? You would be paying for the first year. You will be paying how much? Sorry, for the first year amount would be how much? 2000 plus 15% of that. That's 2000. Yes. First year is how much? 2300. Second year would be what? 2300 plus 15% of this. Yes, 2300 plus 15% of 2300. Yes, which would be how much? 2300 plus how much would be 15% of this? 10% would be 230. 5% would be how much? Half of 230. How much? 150. Yes. Add all of this. How much would you get? 2645. Correct? Yes. So 2645, you would be paying me what? For the 2 years to get 1000. Any confusions here, guys? Anyone? No confusions? Nothing? Yes. So this is the amount that you owe the bank now. Would you agree? Totally, you should pay the bank how much? 2645. Any confusions here? Quickly let me know if you have any confusion with this calculation. This is nothing but what? 15%. So 1.15 of 2000 plus 1.15 of 2000. Yes. I'm applying successive application of 15%. This is nothing but what? 2300 into 1.15 whole square. Okay, using the concept of increment. Any confusions here? No, right? Okay. Please guys, please let me know if you've understood this so that we can move on to the explanation of installments. Yeah. Okay, great. Super. No, Prince ये क्यों नहीं समझ में आया? Prince, this is compound interest calculation. Prince, this is compound interest calculation जो कल कर रहे थे हम लोग. I'm just doing the calculation for you. ये सब भूल जाओ यार. Come on. I'm just doing the calculation for you guys so that you can follow how to do the calculation when you're on the during the test. Yes. Okay. Now 2645, right? 2645 needs to be split into two installments. Yes. 2045 is the amount that you owe to the bank. 2645 से ₹1 ज्यादा ₹1 कम नहीं देना. You have to pay them exactly 2645. Yes. Now when they say two installments or two equal installments, yes, when they say two installments or two equal installments, yes, do they mean both these values would be equal? No. Yes, these would not be equal. Instead it would be what? This would be an installment amount, and then if you add 15% to it, this would also have the same value, right? So now what is happening? Here you would be applying, you would be paying rupees. You agree? Yes guys, you would be paying how much? Rupees. Yes. In the next year for the second installment, right, you would be paying how much? rupees पे जो भी interest लगा, you haven't paid the interest already. ये installment you haven't paid already, right? So whatever interest is applied on this also, this is also the money that you owe them. Yes. So 2300 के साथ साथ ये जो value है, installment का जो value है, that also you owe them, right? So there will be interest applied on this also. So 15% interest applied on this would be how much? 115%, which is nothing but 1.15 times, correct? Yes. Any confusions now? Any confusions now? None? Okay. Now you should pay them how much? You should pay them how much? You should pay them E plus 1.15 E. Right? This is the total installment that you will be paying them. But how much? 2.15 E. Yes. Your total installment that you have to pay. This should be what? This should give you what? 1000. Would you agree? Any confusions here? Would you agree this? My 2645 has to be split two ways. Yes, although it has to be split two equal ways. Yes, but I still can't do it like that because banks don't work like that. Yes, either they predict beforehand how long are you going to have this EMI for, yes, or installment for, and then they divide it in such a way so that every month equal money is taken from your bank. Yes, or what would they do? They would have a standard amount in the beginning of the month. After every month or after every installment, they would include the interest of that installment. Clear? Yes. So totally this much, which would be how much then? How much is the first installment or the installment value? 2645 by 2.15. Yes, which is what? A little less than half. Yes, half would be how much? 1322.5. A little less than that would be, yes, 1230 paid as the here. Correct, Asta. Any confusions here? No. Great. Now let's check. Let's check. Right. So how installments work? First installment you will be paying them. Yes. How much will you pay them in the second installment? 1002 and 15 percentage applied on it. Yes. This is how much you will pay them in the second month. Correct. Or second installment. 1002. Yes. And how much would be 15 percentage extra on? How much would be extra on this? Yes. 10 percentage is 123, 5 percentage would be 0.5. So if I add this, I get around 1041. Yes, pay them how much? 670. Calculate. Somewhere around this. Yes, somewhere around this, which is approximate. We've approximated, of course. Approximate. Yes, very similar. Got it? Yes, guys. So here, what you have to remember is that the installment value will be a little less than the half if it's two installments. If it's installments, it will be a little less than one third. If it's four installments, a little less than one. Here, yes. इंस्टॉलमेंट क्लियर है क्या सबका सबका इंस्टॉलमेंट क्लियर है कोई डिफिकल्टी नहीं है डू वी हैव एनी डिफिकल्टीज इन इंस्टॉलमेंट्स यस या of course Asta, yes, so reverse engineering is one of the options. Reverse engineering is one of the options, yes. So if this is the amount E, if this is E, then what would you have to check? You would have to check what? 2.15. Yes, so a little extra than double. The double of this would be how much? 2300. Yes, but you'll have to be quick on the calculation part. A little extra, 15 percentage extra of this would be how much? Probably somewhere around 2000, for 2400, 2450 something. Yes. Iska double would be how much? 2460. Almost there. Do you see 2000? Almost. Yes. Here. Installments आपका सही है. Any confusions with installments then? Anyone? And okay, all right, so we've tried something out, yes, we also had an opportunity to use algebra, but then we rather would stick to arithmetic than going. Yes. Gaurav, why 2.15? See here, no, first installment would be E. When you pay the second installment, you will be paying 15% extra on it. Yes, उसका installment पे भी interest लगेगा. Yes, because you haven't paid them the installment yet. So totally E plus 1.15 E is 2.15 E. Yeah, super. Okay, so now it's time for us to have a challenge, something that will help us relax a little bit. Yes, between all this आवाज कट रहा है, all this समझ नहीं आ रहा है, repeat करिए. Between all of this, let's try and relax. Here is a challenge for you. Let's see if you can give me the answer to it, right? The question says a car has four tires and a spare tire, which is really understood, right? Every car has four tires, yes, but then this one has a spare one, yes. So totally there are five tires, and each of them can travel a maximum of 400 kilometers. Yes. The question is, what is the maximum distance the car can travel? That is without having to use a new fresh tire. Sixth tire use करे बिना, shuffling between these five tires, what is the maximum distance that can be traveled by this car? Yes. Anyone who can answer this? Anyone? Yeah. The car has four tires, a spare tire. Each can travel a maximum of 400 kilometers. Yes. What is the maximum distance the car can travel? Maximum. That's the key. Can anyone answer? If the board says 500 kilometers, others, anyone? All right, great. Vibhor, your answer is right. Yes, your answer is right, Vibhor. You need 3 minutes to solve. This is just a challenge. This is just to see you. Why would you need 3 minutes to do a question like this? Prince also says 500 kilometers. Super, super. Yes. Now, what people would usually think? What people would usually think is 400 kilometers for every tire. There are five tires. Yes. 5 into 4, the 400 kilometers would be 2000 kilometers. You know, a car can't run on a single wheel. Yes. And if you have four wheels, right? If you have four wheels and you exhaust all of them, yes, four wheels, right? One, two, three, four. सबका 400, 400, 400 खत्म हो गया, which means 400 kilometers if it's over. Yes. Then you can't bring in a new tire and say another 400 kilometers chalega, because three tires would be the other three tires would be worn out. Yes. So here what would you do? Exactly, Prince. Yes, a spare tire would add 100 kilometers more. Correct. Super. Yes. So what's happening here? What's happening here? If the number of tires, right? A quick shortcut to understand this. If the number of tires increase by 1 by 4, yes, then the amount of distance that would increase also be by 1. Four tires already है, एक spare है. Yes, so 1/4 increase हो रहा है, so this will also increase by 1/4, 500. Yes. If you haven't understood this, then just split the 400 kilometers into 100, 100, 100. Yes. First, yes, first 100 kilometers, right? First 100 kilometers, we will run with A, B, C. Yes, A. Got it. Now what we would do for the second 100 kilometers, we'll replace A with a spare. what would we have? Spare plus the other 100 kilometers. In the other 100 kilometers, what will replace B with the previous tire? Yes. So what would we have? Spare plus A. Yes. In the next 100, what would happen? C would get replaced by the previous tire. So S plus plus the last 100 kilometers. Yes, now if you see, yes, the spare has run for 300 kilometers. Yes, D is completed. All 400 kilometers run. Means now D would get replaced. S plus fourth wheel or fourth tire would be. If you quickly check, all tires have run not more than 4. Yes, A has run how much? A has run 1 to 400. B has run 1, 3. Every tire has run. Great, superb guys, great. Now let's quickly look at population versus depreciation. Yes, if you understand the concepts of percentages, right? If you understand the concept of percentages, yes, and you really do not need a formula to go about for population or yes. In other terms, population is just as compounding. Yes, and depreciation is the reverse of it. Yes, that much amount. Yeah. So let's quickly do it with an example. Usual numbers that we take, yes, easy for us to calculate. 1,000 is the population of some town. Yes, if it increases 10 percentage every year. Yes, in the first year what would happen? The first year 10 percentage of 1,000 would increase. The first year we would have 1,100 people that particular. The second year again on this 10 percentage would increase, that is 1,110 people would be in the third year. What would happen? 10 percentage on this again, which 1,331 people. Yes, so what is happening? This is this from here it is in 1.1, from here it is into 1.1 square. Yes, from here this is 1.1 cube. Yeah, the same thing if it's applied for depreciation. If it's applied for depreciation, that is if the value is decreasing. Yes, 1,000 is the value of something and 10% keeps every year, which first year 10% reduction would be much 900. Sorry, let's not kill people here, right? Already too many bad news in the news. Okay, so if the value of something, if something depreciates, right, value of a I don't know book or something, then after the first year it will become 900. After the second year what will happen? Again 10 percentage price would 810. The next year again 10 percentage will reduce, which the price after that would be 700. If you notice, what is this? This is basically 10% minus 100% is 90%. So 0.9 once, this 0.9 twice, yes, and 0.9, yes. In other words, this, right, a population increase is nothing but adding profit, right? Successive profit, yes, successive profit added to a value. First 10% profit, then 10% profit, then 10%. And depreciation is nothing but percentage discount, successive discount. First you reduce 10 percentage and then of that you reduce 10%. Yeah, so here you can also use the application. Yes, A plus 500 also. Yes, if you want a quick calculate. Yes, any confusions? Yeah, great. Hi Sakshi, hello, welcome. Dr. Sarthak, thank you very much, very much. EK, there's nothing to repeat here, but if you want, this example can help you do. Yes, very simple example. Yes, this will help us do it quick. Gaurav, no, because I was actually no, I'm not low on energy. I am not low on energy, no. It's not because you joined late either. Yes, because we've been doing this continuously, because I wanted to end arithmetic by tomorrow, and with the fresh week I wanted to start a fresh section. Yes, that's why. Yeah. Okay, so anyone with the answer here? Anyone with the answer? So what is told to us in 2020? In 2020, the population of town A was 3,000. It is predicted that there's a 15% increase every year. They're asking what is the predicted population. Superb, Vibor. Great. You can actually go for direct application. Yes, approximate answers would do. Yes, of course. You can go for direct application of percentages. That's it. Yes, you don't have to sit and calculate it manually. Yes, but then you have to either be good with the multiplication, or you have to be good with using the calculator. Right. So what would be my answer? There is what, three times this 15% is increasing, right? From 2020 to 2021. Yes, this would be the first time there'll be a 15% increase. That is 1.15. Yes. Then from 2021 to 2022, another 15% increase. That is another 1 point. Yes. And from 2022 to another 15%. In total, what happens? Right? Yes. 1.15 cube. Got it? Yeah. So if you want to use a calculator and then go ahead with the calculation, yes, welcome, you can do that. Yes. If you think no, that doesn't work for you and you want to do it manually, mentally, then you can do that as well. Yes, you can always go ahead and do that. Yeah, any confusion here, anyone? So this would be what? This would be the rate. Yes, this would be the rate. How much has it increased in terms of people? Yes, which would be how much? Like every tested somewhere around approximate. Yeah, great. And for a depreciation also, similar question. Does the numbers change? Yes, quickly do this. If you want, you can do it manually also for every year. If you have the time, if you have the motivation to do it. Yes, if you do not, then you can always go ahead and use a calculator. Yes, there's no point in doing calculation one by. Correct, correct. Nabendra Khushbu, super. Yeah, try out this question real quick. Try out this question. So in this question, what's happening? There's a value being depreciated. Yes, 20% is being depreciated every time. Yeah. So what's happening? 20% being depreciated every time. Right? So you can either find out the effective depreciation value if you want. Yes. Now the depreciation value. How would you find out depreciation value here, guys? First, it's like discount. Yes, it's like discount. First 20% reduces, then again 20% reduces, then again 20. Want, you can quickly do a plus b minus ab by 100, because reduction. Yes, 20 plus 20 minus 20 into 20 is 400. Yes, we would have how much? 40 minus 4, 36%. Yes. Now this would be for what? 2 years. For the third year, it will be what? 36%, and another 20 is to be deducted. Yes. Minus 36 into 20 is how much? 720 by 100. 7 point. Yes. would give us how much? 56. 56 minus 7 point. Yes, somewhere around 14. Yes, this would be what? This would be the effective decay. Yes, this is the effective. Yeah. So totally what's happening? If I look at 100, right? If I look at 100, 49, right? But 9.8 to be. If I look at 100 percentage, how much is being reduced? 49.8%. How much would be left? Left would be somewhere around that. Yeah, somewhere around that. Yeah, so you would get what? 51.2 percentage. Yes, 51.2 percentage is the final value, right? 51.2 percentage of 4,000 is, yeah, yes. That will be how much? 51.2 percentage of 4,000 is going to 2,000. Yeah, either that or what happens? 100 percentage from 100 percentage, 20 percentage reduce. Yes, from 2020 to 2020. Yes, something that we've used, but this time it's going to reduce. So 8 times. Next again from 2021 to the 0 times, and from 22 to in total reduce 0. 8. Yes, of how much? Of 4. Got it? So this will be the final value, not the reduced value. Clear? Reduced value will be how much? 48 point. Yes. So that's depreciation. Yeah. Do not sit and remember extra formulae for this. Do not remember extra methods. Right? Simply use the concepts whatever you've learned in person. That is, yes. Superb, guys. Then that is my time. Thank you very much, guys. You have been an extremely good crowd to talk about, to deal with. Yes, we have successfully completed simple interest and compound interest in tomorrow's session at 6:30 p.m. Same day, same time, next day, same time. Yes, we'll be looking at questions from CAT. Yes, I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. But before leaving, do not forget to like this video, guys. Do not forget to share this with your friends, with your relatives. Tell them how effective these learning techniques are. Yes, and if you haven't already joined the group, please quickly do it, guys. The link has been shared with you. Yes, if you're planning on having a conversation with me, Amit Surana, all you have to do is type in this particular ID, Amit_Surana, and you can reach me on Telegram. Yes, and if you're planning on following me on any of the social media platforms, say Instagram or Twitter, you can use this ID. Yes, this is my Instagram and Twitter ID. Yes, hoping to have a conversation with you guys and a little bit about the plus subscription. Yes, apart from what we do on a daily basis, yes, there would be live polls, there would be test series and its analysis, and the best part about this is there's live doubt clearing. Yes, so for every topic, any question you have a doubt, all you have to do is what? Post a picture, ask me to take a doubt clearing session, and we can do it on a live basis. Yes, and for this, all you have to do is what? Install the Unacademy's learning app. Go for the subscription. Yes, for CAT, if you see the price is very nominal, right? For a year, it's less than 1,500, and for 2 years, guys, if you take up a 2 year one, if you are, if you are in the second year of your engineering, or if you're in the, if you've just joined graduation or something, then this will be very effective, right? And the price, if you see, is as less as taking up, any of the Netflix or any of those. Yes. All you have to do is what? Use the code Surana Live. This will give you a 10% discount. Yes, and it will also let me know that you've joined us because Thank you very much, guys. Today's day has been extremely productive. I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. at the same time, at same place. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Good night. Have a great day ahead.